US Mobile revamped a ton of their offerings and their plans and how their network works. So we're gonna go talk about that and a lot of the feature changes. And FYI guys, this is ridiculous. It's a lot. So let's go ahead and jump right in. What's good everybody? It's your boy Everton. So yeah, I've been rocking with US Mobile for a while, but I have a lot of the changes that are here on my tablet, so I'm just gonna jump right in. There are a lot of changes. I couldn't memorize all of them, so in order to make sure I don't miss anything, I am gonna read off some of them. So let's go ahead and get started. So the unlimited premium plan used to be uncapped for Darkstar, right? They had this whole big promotion where it's uncapped. They're gonna give you unlimited data and everything like that. Now that has moved over to Warp and Lightspeed. So for the unlimited premium now, customers will not only get uncapped data, but they'll also get 20 gigabytes of international data. Then you have 200 minutes and 250 text messages. You also have high priority data. Now, this is actually kind of one of the big things that I wanted to talk about. So priority data existed on US Mobile Darkstar. Then you also had it on Warp from the beginning, but Lightspeed actually has priority data now. Now, when you look at Lightspeed Lightspeed uses a network that's competitors with like Mint Mobile and their parent network, and also Tello. They also use the same thing as Lightspeed. And US Mobile Lightspeed has QCI 7, which is a priority is a priority level that's a little bit higher than QCI 8. The lower the number, the higher the priority. And this is the first time that I've seen a prepaid carrier have that level of priority when it comes to being on those like competitors like Tello and Mint Mobile. It's been a big ask for me because I have excellent speed with with that network. It's just that when it's crowded, it just doesn't. It just the speed will slow down drastically. They were getting a little bit better over the years, but Lightspeed is not QCI 7. Definitely a major upgrade. But it's basically uncapped now, and you can get really high speed with priority data. Now, when it comes to pricing, the standard for it is $44 a month, which is kind of high up there, but they do have a promotion, which is full speed, where you can cut that down. And also, if you pay annually, then you can get an even further discount. I believe the price is $35 with the full speed promo, and then $32.50 per month if you pay annually. So I will have a link to US Mobile in the description if you want to check them out. Definitely click that link. It'll take you right over there. You can pop in that promo code. I will have it linked in the description and in the pinned comment as well. So additionally, the unlimited starter will have unlimited high speed data on Darkstar and 70 gigabytes of high speed data on Warp and Lightspeed. Now the QCI 8 add-on is available to add for these plans, but it goes for Warp is $4 per month, and it drops down to $3 per month if you pay annually. Also, customers on Darkstar will have the ability to have domestic roaming natively. So domestic roaming means that when you don't have any towers available for you, you can use a partner's network, Verizon's towers or, T-Mobile's towers, and you have 10 gigabytes to fill in kind of the coverage gaps of that. So I think that's amazing that it comes with the plan. So they did make a change to the multi-network free trial. They used to be limited to one network, but now it's available on all three, where you can kind of have like two networks at one time. Now, the way that works is that you have to download or have two SIMs on the phone, and when one isn't available, then the other one kicks in. It's something that I have benefited from in extreme cases, but at the same time, it has to be, like I said, an extreme case. So it's only will stop working when the other one just really isn't able to get any data. So let's just say you use Darkstar, and Darkstar just doesn't have any service or towers over there. You can fall back on like another network like Warp or Lightspeed. Now here's the thing: if you're gonna use a roaming add-on or anything like that, or the domestic roaming that comes with it, the 10 gigabytes, that should be a fallback. But this is more like, hey, if you really have a lot of challenging situations and you just don't want to have to think about it, then you can get that, that multi-network. So now when it comes to the performance of how this service actually works, in my experience with Lightspeed, before they added the QCI 7, it was one of the fastest in the most places. In where I live in San Antonio, Texas, it is still one of the fastest networks that's available, and it has a lot of coverage. And one last benefit, that Lightspeed, it can actually penetrate through a lot of concrete areas, like at my job where I go to for my 9 to 5. Like Lightspeed is the only one that can actually get service there. The issue that I had with it though, which was really annoying, was the fact that it didn't have priority, right? So I would have access to this very fast network, But if there were a lot of people around, it would slow down to a crawl. It was very extreme. It had a really high highs, then really low lows. So now that we have QCI 7, which is super amazing in my opinion, it gives us a level of priority that makes sure that we won't have any, lag or any, interruption of service based on, when you're in a crowded environment. Think like you're walking around at a theme park, at a baseball game or a sporting event, something that has a lot of network demand where there's a lot of crowded people. You will still have that, the availability to have, good service on your phone. This is a game changer in my opinion. That's one of the things that I'm most excited about. Not only is it at the consumer level, but it's bumped up one level higher. QCI 7 is actually really, really cool. Just a FYI, like the higher the priority, that's more for like first responders and, people who definitely need the availability when things get really tough. First responders and things like that and emergency services, they have the highest QCIs. Then you go down to consumer level, and consumer level is around 7, 8, and 9, and 7 is really good. So once again, I haven't really seen this on any of the other competitors. One last thing I do want to say is that I want to talk about US Mobile as a whole. So US Mobile is a company that isn't really, I don't think their competitors are really the prepaid space. I mean, when you look at their dashboard, the things that they offer, when it comes to features and services and call records and, they're competing with the major carriers, and sometimes the pricing actually does say that. So I don't think this is a place where you can come and necessarily like say, hey, I want to get the best budget price. No, I don't really see that from US Mobile. What I really see US Mobile as is like, hey, I don't want to pay big carrier prices, but I want a feature-rich service at a reasonable price. $32 for everything that you get if you pay annually, or $35, if you use code full speed, is amazing for what you're going to get. In my opinion, is the best value. So once again, I'm going to leave a link to US Mobile in the description and in the pinned comment. Remember to click that link and also use the code full speed if you want a discount. Definitely never pay full price. Get as much stretch or bang for your buck as you can. Also, let me know in the comments if you guys feel that, this is a good service. I mean, do you think it's competing with the major carriers? Is it beating some of the other prepaid carriers that are often offering, good deals as well? I know Visible is something that they offer a lot of deals on. So let me know what you guys think about its competitors or with the major carriers. In my opinion, this may be the best deal in the industry. But anyway, until next time, I'm Everton, and I do videos Everton's way. Peace.